The Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup are here, and Samsung released the S23, the S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra, with the S23 Ultra being the biggest one, the main flagship of the three devices. But I know some of you will be deciding or trying to decide which one to go for. So in this video, we're going to be comparing the S23 with the S23 Ultra to help you decide which one to go for. Starting with the design, we'll look at the back of the devices, and you notice on the S23 Ultra, we have a quad camera with laser autofocus. On the standard S23, we have a triple camera setup. Differences being that on the S23 Ultra, we get a 200 megapixel shooter, which is pixel beamed, and we get an extra 10 times periscope lens on there for that extra zoom and laser autofocus. On the S23, we get a 50 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens. Other than that, they're both obviously different in sizes. The S23 is obviously the smallest of the bunch and is smaller. And another difference is, if we look at the bottom of the devices, you notice that we get the S Pen on the S23 Ultra, whereas on the standard S23, we don't get that S Pen feature. So if that's something that matters to you in terms of signing documents on the go, writing notes, drawing on the go with the S Pen, then do consider the S23 Ultra. Onto the display, we have different sizes here as well, and it's very obvious. On the S23, we have a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED 2x display, and on the S23 Ultra, we have a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2x display. We get a Full HD Plus in terms of resolution at 425 ppi, so pixel per inch on the S23, and we have a Quad HD Plus display on the S23 Ultra at 550 pixels per inch. And this is notable when you go into settings, you get that screen resolution settings on the S23 Ultra. Regardless of which one you go for though, you do get that adaptive display, so we get 120 Hz display on both devices. So when it comes to gaming, browsing the web and scrolling in general, you're still going to get the same experience. When it comes to storage, they're both different as well. So the S23 Ultra will give you up to 1 terabyte of internal storage, whereas the standard S23 will give you up to 256 gigabytes of internal storage. So if having a large storage is very important to you, you should consider the S23 Ultra. Both devices don't give you a micro SD card expansion slot, so once you've got that size there, that's what you're going to be getting. The RAM opportunity, the RAM capacity is also different as well. So the S23 Ultra will give you up to 12 gigabytes of random access memory, so RAM, whereas the S23 will give you up to 8 gigabytes of RAM. And all that means for you is when running multiple applications, you start to notice the difference in terms of being able to handle them at the same time. So for speed and all that kind of stuff, you might notice the difference. So if that really matters to you, you're going to be running loads of applications side by side and all that kind of stuff, then the S23 Ultra is probably one for you to consider. So far here, it looks like the S23 Ultra just gives you so much more in terms of the screen real estate, extra camera lens in there. You got that 200 megapixel camera. But there are so much more that you can consider for the S23 in terms of how compact it is and still getting that really good display option. One thing that's really good about Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup this year is they all get the same processor. So this year we're going to get that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor in there. So this means you get better processing performance, you get better battery life, and it's just a lot more efficient. Last year we got Exynos processor in this side of the world, so this year we're getting a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is really good. With the differences in size also means you get a smaller battery in the S23. The S23 Ultra gives you 5,000 mAh battery, whereas in the S23 you get 3,900 mAh battery, which means your battery won't last as long as it would on the S23 Ultra. But don't be fooled though, because that new processor just means this will give you an all-day battery life regardless. When it comes to charging as well, you get different charging speeds. So the S23 will charge at 25 watts wired. You also have wireless charging, which is slower as well. I think it's 15 watts. And you also get wireless power share, so you can share power with other devices, so like you can charge your earbuds and all that stuff on both devices. The S23 Ultra will give you 45 watts of super fast charge. So this will charge faster or quicker than the S23. So do bear that in mind if that's something that's important to you as well. For security, you still get the same level of security. So face unlock, fingerprint sensor, or PIN code, those are available on both devices. So let's go back to our question, which is, which one should you get out of the two? I think it boils down to whether you want a bigger size device or smaller size device. If you want that 200 megapixel camera, you go for the S23 Ultra over the standard S23. If you want a bigger battery, you go for the bigger option as well. So I think overall, it just tells you that the bigger, the better, the bigger the options available in terms of 1 terabyte storage, the S Pen feature. But if all that doesn't matter to you, then go for the standard S23, because you still get the same processing performance, so it's still just as powerful. Great camera on there with that 50 megapixel on there as well. So regardless of which one you go for, you're still getting a really, really good device. Over to you though, let us know what you think in the comments below. If this is your first time around here, please do subscribe, smash the bell notification so you get notified every time we upload a new video up on the channel. And if you're looking for some amazing deals on your next smartphone, then check out the link in the description area for some cost saving options that are available on there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.